I am Alwani Anas.
And I'm Aina's roof and lintel system is made up of columns, which are large upright posts with a roof or architrave over the top. This type of architecture began with the Greeks, but has persisted throughout the ages to live on today.
Even though it may seem simple, the Greeks create a wonderful and lasting legacy of architectures. The column and architrave were carved with leaves and flowers, scene of battle, and mythological creatures.
The Greeks have its own history. Now we're going to watch the song video about ancient Greek song by Mr. Nicky.
Because I taught Alexander the Great, I'm the great Aristotle. Alexander the Great, I'm the great Aristotle. Alexander the Great, I'm the great Aristotle. Alexander the Great, I'm so great, 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 great. If you're a polytheist, you should be thanking Zeus for all the Greek achievements that they've passed down to you. Cause you got democracy from the folks in Athens. Our alphabet is from the Phoenicians. Minoans and Mycenaeans worked at the sailing trade. Round in Acropolis, they'd build a city-state. Wasn't much farming soil, barely enough in the peninsulas of Attica and Peloponnesus. So in Athens, they'd given their citizens voting rights. By the people, but in Sparta, they're doing their duty and trained to fight. They do for their oligarchy. Though the Spartans had Hellenes, they're jealous of Athens' power. Jury and assembly, with their allies, they all fought the Peloponnesian War. It was a battle between city-states, city-states. A battle between two city-states, city-states. A battle that ends the Golden Age, Golden Age. A battle where Pericles was slain by a plague. The Macedonians invaded from the north in the Phalanx. Philip II fought on horses' backs. The Greeks got warnings from Demosthenes the orator, but Philip's cavalry's won. His son Alexander spread Greek culture through his empire. Mixing the traditions with the library in Alexandria on the Nile. They built the pharaohs, it's a giant Hellenism spread eastward till he died in Babylon. Daniel split his empire, should have prayed to Athena inside of the Parthenon. It's like a tragedy by Sophocles, Sophocles. Greek drama, or by Euripides, Euripides. Greek drama, or Aristophanes, Stophanes. Greek drama, it's like a tragedy, tragedy. It's like the Iliad and Odyssey, Odyssey by Homer. It's like the Iliad and Odyssey by Homer. It's like the Iliad and Odyssey by Homer. It's like the Iliad and Odyssey. That's right, I taught Alexander the Great. I'm the great Aristotle. Alexander the Great. I'm the great Aristotle. Alexander the Great. I'm the great Aristotle. Alexander the Great. I'm so great. I learned philosophy from Socrates. Socrates. I'm Plato. I learned philosophy from Socrates. I'm Plato. I learned philosophy from Socrates. Hey, Plato?
Hi, I'm Chin.
And I, Amali. There are some important terms to learn about Greek architecture. Greek buildings were all built in a very methodical order, which means that there were many rules that they followed in order to make sure the buildings were all similar. This rule also helped to make sure that the buildings were safe and strong. Many Greek buildings were built so well that hundreds of them still exist today. For example,
the White House in Washington, D.C. The rules that Greeks used to build their buildings were precise and said how well the columns could be, how tall the columns could be, and how many columns a building needed. Eventually, this rule became known as order, and different types of orders developed with different styles of architecture.
now we have a respondent from Aini Shafiqah to highlight more about different types of orders.
Thank you, Chin and Amalina. Greeks made 3 architecture systems. They were called orders.
The Doric order was one of the 3 orders of ancient Greek or classical architecture. The other 2 canonical orders were the Ionic and the Corinthian. The Doric was the earliest and, in its essence, the simplest, though still with the complex details in the entablature above. The Greek Doric column was flattened and had no base, dropping straight into the stylobate or platform on which the temple or other building stood. Ionic order. Ionic order is a building of asymmetrical plan for the displays of offering to atoms. Forming spirals or volutes, similar to those of the nautilus, shells or ram's horn. There are 3 parts of Ionic order. Top part is called capital. The middle part is called shaft. The bottom part is called base. Top of Ionic column looks like scroll. Column is a large and looks like stacks of bricks. The columns can be used for insides or outsides of the buildings, and they can enhance the appearance of one home. Corinthian order is the most decorative and usually the one most modern people like. The Temple of Cybele in Rome is a good example of Corinthian order. The Romans used the Corinthian order much more than did the Greeks. This building is the Charlotte City Hall. City Hall has pairs of Corinthian columns. There are some examples of buildings of Greek architecture. Temples are the most common type of public building in ancient Greece. The purpose of the temples was to store a religious statue. Some temples were very larger, others could very small, depending on the size of statue and how many people want to visit it. Perhaps one of the most famous Greek temples is the Parthenon. The Parthenon is the examples of temples, ancient Greece that use Doric characteristics. The Greeks built the temples of Apollo. At base is Ionic examples of Greek architecture. The temples of Olympian Zeus in Athens is an example of Corinthian order. Second example is stoas. Earlier, stoas were open at the entrance with columns, usually of the Doric order, lining the side of buildings. They create a safe, enveloping, protective atmosphere. Assembly hall was similar to theatre but much more smaller. This building was used to have important town meetings. Gymnasia are still a common part of most schools. Ancient Greece school and these buildings began with the Greeks. Part of ancient Greek gymnasia were wrestling grounds, which were open to the outside, and running tracks. Other parts of gymnasia were lecture halls and other smaller rooms where Greek athletes and warriors could train.
Greek architecture has had a long and important legacy in Western history.
Even now, people continue to copy Greek buildings, and many people go to visit the ancient remains of the thousands of ancient Greek buildings still standing today.
And that's for ABC News this morning. I'm Anina.
And I'm Amoni. Thank you for watching.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's a very specific and influential style of design, which was
Clear
based
sih
on
cakap Ina.
house lighting system. It's made up of columns. Influential style of design, which was based the architecture is a
Seeds of battle and
lintel system. The posts are lashed up breakfast
are all built in a very methodical. They
They were called orders.
Ini tidak masuk, aku masuk juga. Okay, the hundreds of them Greek buildings were built to